Hello, hello. I want to talk about Doom because I just finished Doom: The Dark Ages, and I really wanted to talk about it. I've begun playing Doom 2016 right after, and I intend to finally finish Doom Eternal and the two DLC afterwards. But yeah, The Dark Ages really brought me back into this lore, so to speak. I know you're just ripping and tearing through demons, and you're shooting all over the place, and you're shooting everyone and everything that just slightly moves. But there is some sort of an uncaptured and untalked about, I feel like, lore and story within Doom that I really want to shine a light upon. I feel like the Doom guy and the Doomslayer is often forgotten when we talk about cool characters. I know we have our Kratos and our Geralt and our whatever other game character that you really like. I know there's world stories just like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, all sort of games with stories that maybe don't revolve around the character or the world itself, but just about the emotion or of the player itself. But Doom Guy is so other than the others, you know? At face value, you're playing this game, and your parents probably think you're playing some sort of bloody Call of Duty, and well, everyone around you probably thinks that you're playing some brain dead shooter game, which, in all fairness, you are. I know I am. But when you're starting to pay attention to what is happening around you and what is happening to the Doom guy, I feel like it's such a cool story about human and self sacrifice, about the spirit of humanity and of how we prevail in even the most dire of situations. And Doomguy is ultimately this show of just the raw human spirit, you know what I mean? Like just how he prevails over everything, how he does everything. It's just so cool to look at, and how it all started as well. How Doomguy was ultimately just a marine stationed on the wrong place and the wrong time. And when he got back to Earth, yeah, sorry if I'm skipping a lot of it, but he got shipped to Phobos, I believe, and their demons invaded and blah blah. And when he got back to Earth, his pet bunny was dead. Poor Daisy was dead. And spoiler alert for the Dark Ages, I suppose, is another one of his pets got killed at the very end of that game. And how Doomguy just doesn't show that he's hurt, but clearly shows that he's touched by this and like that he's the rage just takes over. In my opinion, indomitable human spirit sort of characters are so cool. You probably don't need another guy just saying, "Oh man, the manly character is cool," but I really do think that the manly character is cool. The Doom guy, the Doomslayer, reminds me a lot of Guts in Berserk, for example. How these two are just too angry to die. Kratos is the same thing, too angry to give up, too angry to lay down and just take it. They need to fight. They have this instinct, they have this spirit that just drives them forth, and always putting themselves in between whatever they are protecting and whatever is that is, threatening them or people around them. And I think that's just so cool how they show these manly man characters. On the front, on the face value, it's a manly man character after all. Doom guy is just the male fantasy.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
But yeah, how they just show this manly man character. Same for Kratos, same for Guts. And ultimately, when you dig a little deeper, you see true motivation behind their ways and behind their actions, and it's almost sweet in some ways how they are just protecting themselves. No, not protecting themselves. Sorry, I made that mistake. They are not protecting themselves at all. They are just putting themselves in danger so others don't have to. And to me, that's so unimaginably cool. That is so unimaginably metal almost. I know that's a pun intended, I suppose, with the Doom guy. But for Kratos, it's the same thing. Manly man character on the face of it all, the face value. But when you dig a little deeper, you see a broken father figure for example, with Atreus, and how he's regretting his past and regretting his rage, and ultimately wants to get rid of all of that. How a man can grow into something new and way better. And the Doom guy, you don't see the change as much in Doom guy, because obviously you're just shooting demons in the face and you're just angry all the time. But this value of that he's protecting humanity, he never says a word, but you just see his actions. Yes, he hates demons, but I feel like he loves humanity in a strange way. I won't lie, there are, strange little nitbits that are tough love, so to speak. But how he just puts himself through hell again and again and again, only to crawl back out, literally, or drive back out, and just rip and tear and do it all over again. Just so humanity has a shot to survive, or so humanity can have some years of peace without an invasion, because he's literally too much to handle for the entirety of hell. I love it so much. OP characters is another thing. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, and I'm dragging this video on, but I want to talk about OP characters now. OP characters are so unimaginably cool to write, read, and watch. And I don't care what you say, Superman is a cool character because Superman is human while he's an alien. He has to, control himself. He could take over the world in a second. We see it enough. We see it in Injustice. We see it in incarnations of him in like Homelander and Omni-Man. You see it enough. Evil Superman trope is outdone, but the Superman tropes make his character better. And it's the same for Doom guy. He's OP. He's all this cool. I don't think he's a demigod. I think he might actually be a god at one point. But doesn't matter. OP characters have this story where you can't really rely on them needing to beat some odds or beat some stronger foe, because it's ultimately that's gonna lead to power creep and it's gonna be boring to read. I know. If it's done like that, I completely agree. OP characters are boring. But if you have this OP character like Superman, like Kratos, like Doom guy, you have to have this other story that doesn't rely on them beating someone or beating someone up in some cases. Of course, there's going to be conflict, but there needs to be an inner sort of conflict with these characters so that they are and remain interesting. Kratos is the father figure, like I said, dealing with his rage. Doom guy, protecting humanity, leaning into the OP-ness of it all.
What did he say?
No, wait, pause. Leading into the OP behavior, probably a better way to say that. OP behavior of this character is just the way to go about it. They really lean into that he's strong in the story. They lean into it. There's almost a cult-like following. People are scared of him. Same with Superman again. People hate on Superman because he's strong and he can't do anything wrong and whatever. Yeah, he has to maintain the goody two-shoes persona. Can you imagine being that strong, seeing all the evil in the world and keeping your peace? Keeping your head on straight? That's the value or the interesting character of Superman, is just being a Superman. I think I've yapped enough. Yes. Let me know if you have any cool OP characters that people often disagree with. And if you have any stories going on or are playing through any of these games. I'm making my way through the Doom series right now. Let me know if you have some tips and tricks for me. I'm not good at gaming at all, but I enjoy shooting a demon's face off once in a while. Alright, thank you and have a lovely rest of your day.